In the name of God and with His blessing, we begin the episode. In the name of God. This episode is a true story that actually happened, and it is a new story from the Listener Tales series, your very own stories. Let's start today's episode and say, in the name of God. I thought marriage would be the beginning of a new life. A life full of love, comfort, and security. But after the first day of marriage, I felt like my whole life was being stripped away from me. Because I started to discover my husband's true face. He was scary-tempered. The smallest word would make him explode at me and yell. And he was fighting all the time over very trivial things that weren't worth it, unfortunately. None of this was visible during our engagement days. On the contrary, he was very good to me. And that's why we didn't have a long engagement. We got married right away. And when a month into our marriage passed, he started hitting me. I remember very well the first time he hit me. I was asking about a strange message he got on his phone. At first he yelled and said, "What business is it of yours? Why are you meddling in my work?" And when I insisted on knowing, he grabbed me by my hair. He threw me onto the couch and started beating me. Over time, he began spending the night away from home. And when he would return, I would find the scent of very cheap women's perfume on him. I knew and was certain that he was cheating on me. Despite that, whenever I confronted him, he would always laugh at me. He'd say, "Have you gone crazy or what? Or because I've been busy, you've started making up things that don't exist?" No, I hadn't gone crazy. And I knew very well that you were cheating on me. No, it's you who has delusions in your head. And honestly, I don't have time for this nonsense. He would always say those words, leave me, and go to sleep. But I wasn't imagining things as he tried to convince me. I spoke up and objected so many times. I even left him and stayed at my mother's house in anger for months. But he didn't care at all. On the contrary, he was very happy that I had left the house. As for me, I wanted to divorce him and never go back to live with him again. But my mother and father completely rejected the word divorce. And every time, they would keep pestering me to go back. Especially since my husband's family was so kind, and none of them liked Jamal's behavior toward me. They were always on my side. But no one could control him. Until one day came and I found that Jamal was a different person. That day, he came home late as usual. He opened the apartment door and walked in smiling. And that was something that didn't happen at all. But that smile of his scared me. And along with it, I found him approaching me, looking at me in a strange way. Then he sat down next to me and said, "Sam, I know I've upset you a lot, but believe me, I will never do that again. I will never upset you again. And that's a promise from me. You and I, God willing, will turn a new page." I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but I thought maybe there was hope and he truly intended to change. But what happened after that was far from a new page. As for him changing, he really did change. But this change was very strange and scary. That's because he started obeying me in a terrifying way. I would ask him for anything and he would do it. No matter what it was, he never said no to me, ever. It got to the point where I was joking with him once, telling him to get up and help me tidy up the apartment. I found him get up and actually work with me. Everything about him wasn't normal. His walk had changed. His style of speaking wasn't like it was before. Even his tone of voice. Also, the way he ate. I would watch him sit and keep cutting his food into such tiny pieces as if a child was the one eating. When this situation happened again, I looked at him in surprise and said, "Kamal, are you okay?" He replied to me while smiling and looking very happy. I honestly don't know why. I have never been as okay as I am now. Everything he did during the day was one thing, and what I saw at night was something else entirely. Because he would wake up in the middle of the night and sit on the edge of the bed. He wouldn't keep staring at the floor, staying in that position for a long time. At first, I thought he had insomnia and couldn't sleep. But when I found that this went beyond the limit, I asked him, "What's wrong, Kamal? Why are you sitting in the dark like this? Are you okay?" "There's nothing wrong, Sam. I was just having a very nice dream. When I heard that sentence from him, I got scared. I got scared and turned my back to him. I tried to go back to sleep, but I couldn't. And as time went on, his behavior became even stranger. It was like the person in front of me was a new version, not my husband. One day, I was making food in the kitchen. And that day I heard Gamal's voice talking out in the living room. I thought he was talking on the phone. I was afraid he might be talking to one of the women he used to know. So I put down what was in my hands and snuck over, standing behind the curtain to see who he was talking to. But I found him sitting there, looking ahead, and he wasn't holding any phone or anything. The strange thing was that I heard him say, Okay, I'll do what we agreed on. But you leave now, go. I froze in my place out of fear. I didn't know what to do. I was asking myself what he was seeing in front of him that I couldn't see. I walked toward him slowly, stood beside him, and asked, Gamal, who are you talking to? He looked at me and smiled, the same cold smile that had been haunting him. Then he told me, I'm not talking to anyone. I was just thinking out loud. But you were saying, okay, I'll do what we agreed on. No, I never said that. It seems you just heard it wrong. Honey, I'm sorry I worried you. I moved past the situation and didn't want to argue with him. Deep down, I had really started to doubt his sanity. But I said I'd wait and see how it would end with him. And another time I was sleeping in our room. I woke up at that moment to the sound of whispering. I opened my eyes, wondering at what I was hearing. I found Gamal standing right next to the bed, and he was holding something in his hand. I didn't even try to move so he wouldn't notice that I had woken up. But I tried to focus as much as I could to see what he was doing, especially since the room was already dark with only a faint ray of light coming from outside. When I focused, I discovered that he was holding a paper and reading things from it, and that the whispering sound was coming from him. At that moment, I couldn't control my nerves any longer and called out to him quickly. Gamal, what are you doing there? I'm not doing anything. I was just writing down things I need to do at work so I wouldn't forget them. What are you doing up in the middle of the night to review your work tasks? No, I was just in the bathroom and decided to take a look at them while I was at it. He finished speaking, opened the nightstand drawer, put the paper in it, and then went back to sleep as if he hadn't done anything strange. But that paper kept bothering me. The next morning, I woke up before my usual time, but I kept pretending to be asleep until he got up and left the room. As soon as I heard the bathroom door close, I opened the drawer and took out the paper. I found it filled with very strange words and letters scattered everywhere. Besides that, the paper had a pungent smell. Not necessarily bad, but very heavy and similar to incense, though not like any incense I'd smelled before. I didn't try to confront him with this paper, because I knew I wouldn't get a straight answer out of him. I just took a picture of it with my phone and decided to handle it on my own. I waited until he went to work, and then I picked up the paper and started turning it over in my hands. My heart was telling me that this wasn't anything ordinary. I tried to understand any of the words written on it, but I couldn't. After a lot of thought, I decided to go to my mother-in-law. I told myself she's an older woman and surely has more experience than I do. Besides, he has son, and she is the one who will be able to deal with him. Honestly, my mother-in-law is a fair woman and has always taken my side, perhaps even more than my own mother. Anyway, I took the paper and went to her, and the moment she looked at it and saw it, I felt her face change, as if she had seen a demon. This is an amulet, my daughter, and it's a spell made for a specific purpose. These words are talismans. Having it in the house is forbidden. This is considered blasphemy, God forbid. So what should I do now? Gamal has changed a lot, and I don't know what would make him carry a paper like this, honey. He's even reading what's in it in the middle of the night. You must get rid of this paper immediately. Tear it up or burn it, but don't leave it in a house like that. These things only bring ruin. But what about Gamal? Should I tell him that I saw the paper and got rid of it? Don't you dare say anything to him. You watch him and find out exactly what his story is so we can know who led him down this path. And if you find out anything, come tell me. And then we'll see what we'll do. After she spoke, I took the paper and went back to my apartment. I placed it in front of me. My heart was pounding with fear, but her words. That's why I tried to calm myself down. I grabbed the paper then and tore it into 100 pieces as I invoked the name of God. But I felt like my hands had become so heavy, and the paper itself was barely tearing. And believe me, it took me a long time to tear it all up. And after I finished completely, I threw everything I tore into the trash. But truthfully, I didn't know that what I did opened the gates of hell for me. That same night, while sleeping, I felt something pressing on my chest and choking me. And when I opened my eyes in terror, I found a black shadow standing at the foot of the bed. It had no visible features, but I was sure it was looking at me. I tried to move or scream, but my body was paralyzed. I stayed like that for seconds. Seconds that felt like hours to me. And then everything disappeared. I remained lying on my spot shivering, unable to move. Suddenly I felt Gamal jolt from his place. He sat up on the bed, looking at me in a strange way. At first I thought he sensed me and what had happened to me, and that he got up to check on me. But what happened was, he quickly got up to open the nightstand, and he kept searching for the paper. And when he didn't find it, he yelled at me and said to me, "Where did the paper that was here go? Where did you put it?" "What paper are you talking about?" "I don't know anything." "You are a liar. You are the one who took it. Return the paper, it's better for you, or you will regret it, Seth." "Regret what, you man? Is this instead of checking on me? I was dying just now." "Dying? If you don't return the paper, you'll wish for death and won't get it." "Well, won't you tell me what the story of this paper, and why is it so important to you?" "And what is it to you? That is something that doesn't concern you. And since you don't want to return it, then bear what will happen to you." And after he said these few words, he left me and went out of the room. And from that night, Gamal changed with me 180 degrees. But he didn't return to who he was. No, he acted like he was angry with me. He started sleeping in a room and stopped eating with me. No, and his talking to me decreased completely. And no matter how I tried to please him or even make amends, he would never be pleased. And when he saw me tired, he would look at me and laugh like he was gloating over me. And all he would say to me was, "Return the paper first and you will be fine." And of course I remained insistent that I didn't know anything about this paper. I mean, where would I get it for him after I threw it in the trash? And the bigger problem was that many unnatural things were happening to me too. Many things in the house would change their place, even though I was sure none of us moved them. The lights would turn on and go out every little while. Whenever I sat alone in the apartment, I would hear the sound of heavy footsteps walking. And when I would get up to look around the apartment in terror, I wouldn't find anything at all. Despite all this, I got scared and told myself it was surely because of the paper I tore up. What confirmed my feeling was Jamal's words that if I didn't return that paper, I should bear what was happening to me. That's why I went to my mother-in-law again and told her everything that was happening to us. She spoke then and told me to play the Quran in the apartment day and night, and she would try to talk to Jamal to see what exactly was going on. As soon as she said that, I quickly interrupted her and said in fear, "No, don't talk to him about something like that. He'll know I told you and he'll come and take it out on me. That's what's holding me back. That is what has me gripped and paralyzed." My daughter, swear if I wasn't afraid of his reaction, if he knew you were talking to me, I would have spoken to him. I would have spoken to him from the moment we found out. But then, what is the solution? Are we going to just stay silent like this? "I will do as you told me. And that's it. I'll play the Quran and I'll also get incense to scent the house. And may God protect us. My daughter, and I'll wait for you to reassure me." I listened to my mother-in-law. But every time I turned on the Quran in the apartment, I'd find the radio turning off by itself. Not to mention that I also started hearing voices calling my name all the time. Every time it was a different voice from the last, but they were all voices that terrified me. For these reasons, every time I went into the kitchen, I intentionally closed all the room doors so I wouldn't hear anything. But after a little while, I would hear the sound of those doors opening one after another. Literally, my life was ruined. I actually started wishing for death to find relief from what I see every day. Everything in the house started to scare me. And Jamal was not a support for me at that time. On the contrary, he was increasing my fear, threatening me that I would see even more because of what I did. And since I complained to him so much without finding a result, I stopped talking. I just endured what was happening in silence. But with time, I found that the matter had dragged on too long, and nothing was being resolved. After having been close to God, I became unable to pray or even read the Quran. I felt like I was in a huge whirlpool with no beginning or end. One of those days of terror that never left me. I was in the kitchen and suddenly I heard the sound of someone running toward me. My heart sank and I turned around quickly to look behind me, but I didn't find anyone. I collapsed and couldn't hold myself together any longer. I sat on the floor crying and slapping my face and screamed loudly, "What do you want from me? Just kill me and let me rest. I can't take it anymore." But of course I was talking to thin air. Nothing changed around me. So I stayed sitting there just as I was for a long time. Thoughts were just coming and going in my head. So what am I even doing? Why am I putting up with all this anyway? And for whom? When a woman's husband isn't good to her, she says she's enduring it for the kids. But I have no kids and nothing to hold me. So why should I stay with him? Why bear all this burden in the first place? Ever since I got married, I've been in misery. When I reached this thought, I said I must face my mom and dad and tell them I'm done and getting a divorce. And if they don't want me with them, I'll find a place to live and get a job. Yes, I don't want anything from them. The important thing is not to stay at the mercy of someone like him. He either betrays me and treats me like a maid in his house, or he destroys his life and takes me down with him as he is doing now. No, that's enough. I actually packed my things and went to my parents' house. When I entered the house, they were both sitting in front of the TV, completely oblivious. As soon as they saw me and saw my bags in my hands, they knew right away that I had left in anger. Before any of them could speak, I sat down in front of them and told them, I've had enough, and decided to divorce. I saw my mom raise her eyebrows and her expression changed in a second. She said to me, "Is it this same song and dance every other day? Are we never going to be done with this talk? You want a divorce just like that, out of the blue?" "Out of the blue, Mom. You know I haven't been able to stand living with him for a long time. Not to mention that things have completely fallen apart lately. Or is it just because I stopped telling you and burdening you with my problems?" "Don't exaggerate and start saying such big things. All homes have problems. Does that mean every woman should get a divorce? Listen to me and don't ruin your home with your own hands. These aren't just problems, Mom. My life is truly in great danger as long as I am with him. You don't know what's happening there. Didn't he change for the better and start listening to everything you say? What more do you want?" I was shocked as soon as I heard that from her. I felt the blood freeze in my veins. I was silent for a while and didn't know how to answer her, and she seemed to suddenly realize what she had said. I found her changing the subject and trying to steer us towards something else, but I cut her off quickly and said, "And how did you know that? I haven't told you anything since the last time I visited. I didn't even mention a word about our life or his actions toward me." "Oh, it's nothing. I just noticed it on my own. I thought since you were quiet and not coming to nag me, nagging us all the time, every day like you usually do, then he must be good to you, right?" "No, I don't buy that. Something is wrong. Mom, what did you do that you're hiding from me?" Just then, my dad intervened and said, "Why are you talking to your mother like that? We want what's best for you." "I'm not disrespecting her. I'm saying that there is something she is hiding." After I said this, Mom got angry and started yelling at me. "Yes, what did you do? What's the problem? It's all for your own good. What did you do, Mom?" "I made a simple charm for your husband to keep him under your thumb and mine too, so he'll be like a puppet in our hands. And whatever we ask of him, he won't say no. He'll be like a ring on your finger. And whenever I give him an order about you, he'll say, 'As you wish, mother-in-law.' I even gave him a charm to carry to strain the effect and fix everything." I felt the world spinning around me. I replied to her with the words barely coming out. "Are you being serious? Did you use magic on us, Mom?" "Yes, I did it for you. To protect your life and your marriage. Gumal is difficult, and I saw you wilting more every single day, Molly. I didn't want you to keep suffering like this, dear. But I told you I wanted a divorce. And why get a divorce? To let people gloat over us. I solved it for you, but you're never satisfied." "Solved what? You ruined my life even more than it already was. You didn't even think about the sin you committed." "What sin, you girl? I did what had to be done, and he's listening to you now." "Yes, he was listening to me, Mom, until I found the charm and destroyed it." As soon as I said that, She rushed toward me and grabbed me, screaming, "Are you crazy? Do you know what you've done? Do you know what this means? You've brought harm upon us all. That charm was protecting you and shielding your life. You've ruined everything and left us exposed to them." She was screaming so loud I felt the whole house shaking. She was just about to lay a hand on me too. Had I not stepped back, then I grabbed the bag I came with and told her, "You did something sinful and wrong, and you won't make me carry the guilt of what you did. What happened had to end. I will divorce Gamal, and I will be able to return to God and fix my life. See how you'll handle this yourself." Mom stood there, and Dad, as usual, wasn't intervening in anything. I went and stayed at my aunt's place. After I told her everything, she promised to help me with the divorce. As for the harm chasing me, I am doing everything I can to get rid of it all. Pray for me. Pray for me and tell me your opinions. Should I really go through with the divorce? Is what I am doing the right thing? Or is it better to stay in my life as it is and endure all this misery? I also want to ask you something. Should I keep my relationship with my parents good, or distance myself? Because nothing but ruin comes from them. I'm waiting for your opinions in the comments, and I will read every one of them. And with that, today's episode and story come to an end. I want to thank writer Noura Hussein for writing this episode in the creative way you just heard. I also want to thank writer Mohammed Shaban for preparing all the stories for the General Horror channel. If you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can receive all our latest updates. And if you're one of those who like to support me, please don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and share. You have the right, my friend, to believe or disbelieve all or part of this episode. These are simply listener experiences. Thank you very much. You've been with Mohammed Gweli and the General of Horror program. Peace be upon you.